It's kind of wild. My dad entered a lottery as a joke with his buddies to get a visa to come to the States. And he like heard on the radio that he won.
As a joke.
As a joke, like with his college friends. Oh yeah, we're going to go to America, you know?
But did he actually aspire to live here?
It
just seemed like it was such a rare thing. He didn't even really think it was real.
It doesn't seem real. Like when you're there, especially like coming out of communist times, and the ability to travel places, especially here, is so limited. Just being able to get a visa is so hard. And so it just seems like, you know, everyone thinks about America, or at least when I go back there, that's my perception of it. And we all like live in LA with all the movie stars.
Right.
Like that's what the United States is to you know, to just the people back home.
But did your dad consider not moving, even though he won it? Because it was a joke?
Well, he came over here, and he was on the East Coast, and he then applied for my mom to come visit. And basically, my mom tells the story of they went to Disney World, and me and my brothers are home in Poland with my grandmother. And my mom got so sad because she was like, she thought about this sad, like rusty old carnival that comes to like our village in Poland every year. Wow. And she's in Disney World, and she's like, I can't live with myself thinking my kids can't experience this. So I thought we were coming here for summer vacation. And,
how old were you?
I was 7. They were like, yeah, we're going to...
So, I mean, you were self-aware. Like it was...
I mean, I remember thinking that we're coming here for summer vacation, you know, but yeah.
So that was what she told you, or did you guys really think you're only coming here for summer?
No, that is legitimately what she told me. And I completely hated it at first because I didn't speak English. I had no friends. Like, I couldn't go walk around the neighborhood, and it was like in a kind of a rough part of Jersey.
That's traumatic.
So, I mean, I'm here now, so
yeah, no, I'm just saying that for a 7-year-old,
yeah,
it's like, oh, by the way, it's not vacation. We're here.
Yeah, because then I was like, all right,
you can check out anytime you want, but you can never leave.
Yeah, and I really actually wanted to go home. I was like, hey, like we're gonna start school soon. Like, when are we going home? And then they were like, we thought you'd just like try school here, and I still didn't know English. And I remember being in the first day of school, and like all the parents are there. And my English was like just based on what I saw on TV over the summer. And essentially, the teacher was walking around asking everybody the same question, like whether they were buying lunch or whether they brought it from home. And she phrased it the same way every time. I was like, okay, I think I know what's happening. I brought a lunch. I'm going to say from home. And she like came up to me and she changed the question.
Oh.
She was probably something like, oh, did you bring a lunch, honey? And I was just like, from home? And everyone starts laughing, and like my mom's laughing. It's like my first day of school. I'm like, dude, I knew the answer to your question, but you tricked me. So like that was my first experience of having to like be immersed here. So
how do you go from there to trying or finding skating?
Well, you just landed the 900. It was everywhere. The video game was out. And so I was seeing it a lot in my periphery. This was a few years later. And I remembered at some point my brothers like laughed at me because I didn't know how to stand up and ride a skateboard. And then I just thought like, well, I'm going to learn how to do it properly. And the X Games came...
To spite them?
To spite them, exactly.
That's so great.
Yeah, exactly. Because I had 2 older brothers, and you know, when you have older brothers, they wanted to learn. And then to top it all off, the X Games came to Philadelphia, and my parents and I drove out there, and we were wandering around the arena, and off in the corner, we realized there was like a women's vert demo going on. No one was announcing it. It wasn't on the schedule, but it was happening. And as I got closer, I saw Lindsay Adams Hawkins, I saw Cara Beth Burnside, I saw Mimi Knoop, and I was just...
Jen O'Brien.
Yep. She was definitely there as well. And it just felt like my brain like opened up to the possibilities of like, I want to do that. I want to be just amazing. Like that.
But you were already skating a little bit.
I had dabbled. I had dabbled.
You could stand up on one.
I could stand up on one, exactly. My friends taught me how to go down the driveway. And they also bought Tony Hawk's Trick Tips Volume 1. So we were trying to figure that out. He's a really good teacher.
Ah, wow. Hey, do you remember the scandal of the doubles, Jason? Do you remember the
Do
scandal?
you want me to talk?
Oh, come on. Do you remember the scandal of the doubles? I think it was there. Was there doubles at that event?
Yes.
Or was the one before?
I
Bob?
got your autograph
Why?
because you're
Man,
Jason Ellis.
you were desperate. What scandal?
It was on my. It was on
Let's
my
not
bedroom
talk about
wall,
me. Let's get
Ellis.
back
Bob
over
wanted
here.
to skate with Jen.
Who
and
did?
Bob wanted to skate with Jen in doubles.
Wait, and they wouldn't let her.
And they said, well, she's not an actual X Games entrant. And like, well, that's because you didn't have a women's vert event.
Yeah, that's a good argument.
And
But they said no.
They said it came down to this. It was ugly.
Yeah, because
I remember because people were just like, "What? Like, just let him. Who cares?
Yeah,
Like, this isn't the Olympics. Like, what are the rules?
Yeah.
They go, well, she's not officially entered in the contest. Like, well, because you guys don't have a women's vert, but she's here for the demo.
Yeah.
So let her
Yeah,
do the thing.
even
And
the
they go,
demo is
okay,
pretty good
they
argument.
can skate, but their score won't count.
Wait, what?
That's what they said.
Yeah. So they did. I don't think it was that. It wasn't Philly. It must have been one before. It must have been like San Francisco or something.
That's
but
crazy.
it was crazy. Yeah. Whatever.
We've come a long way.
Pick your battles.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
I mean, look, it's new ownership.
I was gonna say-
I'm part of that crew.
I was gonna
That's
say-
not happening anymore. But it was weird.
People
Weird
that
times.
owned it then didn't skate, and I can say it now. They didn't like it. Like some of the people that were in charge of it didn't like skateboarding. I heard them. I heard them disrespecting people that are in it, like Bob. Like, you think that guy's an actual athlete? And I was like, do you think you have a brain that works correctly? You dumbass. Like, is Bob Bergquist an athlete? Shut the fuck up, you dumbass.
Yeah.
Like, is he an athlete? Like, he's one of
Yeah.
the greatest athletes that's ever lived. But you wouldn't know that, even though you're in charge of skateboarding, exposing it to the people, the masses on television. You're like,
Yeah.
well, what does he really do? What does he really do? Everything. He's pretty much done everything. Derek Jeter's an athlete. I remember that argument. I was like, that dude's a douche. Stick on a ball. Fart off.
But that was a big thing like that, and that was behind the scenes, and
That's crazy.
Yeah, it
I
was
never
crazy.
heard about that. But
I think
How do you
that
think
was
they would have done?
that was the same event. Okay, I mean, no one had anything together. So I think it was one of the first ones. Andy and I were the only ones that actually had like a real routine that we
Yeah.
worked on. And
Douches.
then the funniest was, I think it was it Crum and Tom Boyle?
Yeah.
And then Tom Boyle fell.
Yeah.
And so then he would just stand in Mike's way
That's pretty
and
funny.
dodge him in the flat bottom like a matador,
That's awesome.
oh my
which
god,
I thought was pretty sick. Like,
wow.
yeah, way to make turn lemons into lemonade.
I did doubles with Sergi. And
That's awesome.
We sucked.
Yeah, no one was synced up. No
Yeah,
one
we
was,
had
everyone
one
had-
trick
yeah,
that
one
was
trick,
cool,
right, yeah.
and then the rest was just like, you go that way, I'll go that way. And I'm like, oh. And I remember you and Andy. I was like, man, they got a game plan. That's pretty good because it was like Sergio and I were like, we got half an hour to arrange doubles because it was like, you want to be in doubles? Yeah, I'll be in doubles with you.
Yeah.
It's like, here's one thing we can do, and he's like, what about the rest? Let's just go over each other. And I'm like, easier like said than done because we were not synced. We were like gonna hit each
Well,
other.
the good thing about Sergi is he'll always get over you,
Yeah.
whatever you're gonna do.